Okay, students, today we are going to do exercise from calculation of net profit. So we are going to try out profit or loss statement. So we have been given a question of trial balance. The example given below explains how to prepare the income statement using the data given in the trial balance. Okay, so the trial balance of Navisha's business is given below. So we have been given stocks purchases, carriage inwards expenses, loading expenses, sales. Okay, what else we have been given? Sales, 10% fixed deposit, interest income on fixed deposit. Okay, machine and equipment, discounts received, discounts given, insurance charges, stationery expenses, sales and promotion expenses, salaries to sales personnel, rent expenses, trade debtors, bad debts, cash balance, bank overdraft, bank loan at 10%, and interest on 10% bank loan, interest on bank overdraft, and capital. These things are being given. Okay, so we are going to calculate the profit and loss statement of the business, and in simple, we are going to calculate the net profit. Okay, so to start with, we are going to start with the sales figure. Okay, we are going to start with the sales figure. Sales, and there is no calculation. So sales is 4 lakh 4,56,000 is the sales figure. Okay, then we will have to calculate the cost of sales. Okay. Cost of sales. Okay, to calculate the cost of sales, we will have to start with the opening stock. Opening stock. Opening stock is how much? 8,000. Then we will have to calculate the purchases. So purchases is 1,45,000. Okay, 8,000 and then 1,45,000. Then there are two expenses: carriage inwards expenses and loading expenses. Okay, carriage inward expense, which is 6,000, and loading expense, loading expense, loading expense, which is 3,000. So those are related to cost of sales. Okay. So what else are being given? Carriage inward expenses and loading expenses we have to take. Okay, this is what is been given. Then we will have to deduct the closing stock. Okay, closing stock. Okay, we will have to deduct it. So we will have to deduct it. Now here in the notes section, it has been given all goods purchased for resale have been sold. Okay, all goods purchased for resale have been sold. What does it mean? There is no closing stock. Okay, there is no closing stock. Okay, there is no closing stock. So in simple, you need not to even mention this. Okay, then let's add them all. 8,000 plus 1,45,000 plus 3,000 plus 6,000, which will add up to how much? 1,62,000. Okay, then here 1,62,000. we will have to debit it. We should ideally write it here. 8,000, 1,45,000, 6,000, and 10,000. Okay. Okay. Then with this, we can arrive gross profit. Okay. Sales minus cost of sales is gross profit, which is 2,94,000. Okay. So we started with the sales figure, which is 4,56,000. Then we deduct the cost of sales. How to arrive at the cost of sales? We start with the opening stock, and we add purchases and other expenses like carriage inwards and loading expenses, and then we deduct the closing stock. Now here we do not have any closing stock, okay, because it is been there is a note being given, all goods purchased for resale have been sold. Okay, so the cost of sales is 1,63,000, 1,62,000. So when you deduct 1,62,000 from 4,56,000, that will add up to, or that will come up to 2,94,000. Okay. Now we have to add the other incomes. We are going to arrive at the net profit. So add other income. Add other income. So what are the other incomes? First few things we have already taken: stock purchases, carriage inwards, loading expenses, and sales we have already taken. Now they say 10% fixed deposit, which is 40,000, that is asset. So we are not going to take it. And then they say interest income on fixed deposit is 4,000. Okay. Interest income on FD. Okay. Which will add up to 4,000. 4,000. Then machine and equipment is there. Then there is a discount received. Okay, now discount received is taken as a other income. Okay, discount received. Discount received. Discount 1,000. Okay, this we will add up, which will come to 11,000. Okay, and when you add 11,000 to 2,94,000, that will be 3,05,000. Okay, now we will have to deduct the other expenses, or the we have to deduct the expenses. Okay, we have to deduct the expenses. Now expenses will come in four categories: distribution and distribution expenses, admin expenses, financial expenses, and other expenses. Okay, so let's start with the distribution expenses. Okay, so what are the distribution expenses here? There is discount given. Okay, sales promotion expense is there. Salaries to sales personnel is there. And then there is bad debt. Okay, those are the distribution expenses. So what are they? Discount given. Discount given. Discount given is 6,000. Discount given. Then sales promotion expenses. Sales promotion expenses Sales promotion expenses is how much? 20,000. Okay. Then salaries to sales personnel. Salaries to sales personnel. Salaries to sales personnel is 36,000. Okay. Then we have the bad debts, which is 2,000. Bad debts, which is 2,000. Okay. So altogether, this will add up to how much? 6,000 and 2,000, 8,000, 28,000 and 28,000 plus 36,000 is 64,000. 64,000. Okay. Then we have admin expenses. Admin expenses. Discount given is already taken. So we have insurance charges. Insurance charges. Then stationery expense is there. Station expense is there, which is 5,000. Insurance charge is how much? Insurance charge is 8,000. Then we have the rent expenses. Okay, admin expense, rent expense. Rent expense is how much? 30,000. Okay. Now, when you are doing this, how you should do is when you have this on your paper, you should tick it. Like once you do everything, once you complete everyone, once you pick a expense, you should tick it. Okay, let's say you have taken stocks, so you should um, pick a right mark. Let me see whether. Okay, so cannot take it on this. So you have to just tick a right in front of stocks. Then when you take the purchases, put a right in front of purchases. Okay, so you have taken it. Then carriage inwards, you can put a tick in front of that. Or else from a pencil, you can cut the 8,000 and 1,45,000. Then you need not to replicate looking at this information. Okay, so you know you have already taken this. Okay. Then 8,000, 5,000 and 30,000. So all together, 43,000. Right? So altogether 43,000. Then we are moving on to financial expenses. So financial expense, bank loan, interest on bank loan is there. Okay. Interest on bank loan is there. Interest on bank loan, how much? Interest on bank loan is 6,000. Then we have interest on bank OD. Interest on bank OD. Interest on bank OD is 1,000. Only that. Yeah. And that altogether 7,000. We don't have any other expenses. Okay, we don't have anything like frauds and stuff. Okay, those are not being given here. So then we will have to add up all these three things. Okay, 43,000, 7,000 is 50,000. 64 and 50 is 114. Okay. Then finally, the net profit will be how much? 3,05,000 minus 1,14,000. which will end up to 1,91,000. Okay. So this is how we prepare the profit and loss statement. So we start with the sales figure, then we go ahead with the cost of sales. So we calculate cost of sales, and then we arrive at the gross profit. Okay. Then we will add the other income. Okay. We will add the other income, uh, interest income on FD, and discounts received. And then we deduct the expenses into different categories. Okay, distribution expenses, admin expenses, financial expenses, and other expenses if there are any. Okay, then we deduct it from the gross profit plus other income, and finally we arrive at net profit. Okay, so this is how we calculate it. So you can take a couple of minutes and look at this and complete your answers. Okay. Okay, students. So as I explained you last time also, now this is not a difficult thing. This type of questions are not difficult things. It is a very simple question. But one thing that can happen is you might forget the contents here. Let's say preparing profit and loss statement. So what is in it? You might forget, and that is understandable. But there, what you have to do is last time also I was asking you to write this on a paper. Okay, so you can write it on a paper and you can paste it in somewhere you can see it always. It could be like under your table, or it could be on a wall where you always study. So you will always seeing it. And once you always see it, it will be easy for you to remember it. Now this is logical. For example, how to get the gross profit, sales minus cost of sales. Okay. Okay. Then you add the other income, and then you deduct the expenses. When you are deducting expenses, you will have to take the four categories. It is the logicality behind this. Okay. It is the logicality behind this. You have to start with the sales, then you have to identify the cost of sales, then sales minus cost of sales is gross profit. So you will arrive at the gross profit, and then you have to calculate the net profit. So you will have to add the other income. Okay. And then you have to deduct expenses which are coming in four categories. Okay. So that is the logicality behind this statement. But sometimes you might forget it. Therefore, what you can do best is you can, like, you have this on your notebook, and it is available in the textbook as well. So you can write it and paste it in somewhere you will always see. Okay. So if you can, as long as you can remember this, it will be very easy. Okay. For your reference, now let's say now in questions like this, we always get closing stocks, but sometimes you might not get it. Then you can just go ahead without mentioning it. You need not to write closing stock and stuff. Okay, but let's say you remember the format, and then you can just draw a line and go ahead. Okay, so that's it. This is important because this is the profit and loss statement. So looking at this, you will know how your business is operating. Does it make a profit or does it make a loss, and how the business is going on. Okay, so you can take a couple of minutes and complete this, and then we will move on to the next section. Okay, so we have completed the exercise from preparing profit and loss statement, and there is a small reference in your textbook. Okay, there are two forms of presenting operational result of a business. One way is presented in the form of a statement that you have already studied above. So we have already studied about it, reporting the operational performance, how to report it, the profit and loss statement. Okay, it is how the operating result is uh, it is how the operating result is presented according to current practice, and that is a current practice, and that is how we report the operating result. Okay. However, in the past, that information was presented in a format of a account. Okay, in a format of account. Through that method, though that method is used at times, only for your extra reference, it is presented below in the format of an account by using the details of the examples given below. So we are now when we take the operational result of a business, okay, when we take the operational result of a business, there are two ways that you can report it or you can present it. One is in the format of a statement. The other one is in the format of an account. So operational results of a business, how you can report it? You can report it in the format of a statement and as well in the format of a account. Okay. Now this one is the current practice. Okay. This one is the current practice and we have already studied about it here. Okay. You can see this is how we report it in the format of a statement. How we report it, this is the format. Now your textbook says other than this format, which is the one we use currently. Now previously there has been another method where we report the operating results in the format of a account. Okay, see here you have the debit side and the credit side as in account. So opening stock is there, opening stock is asset. So you have 8,000 opening stock. Then you have the expenses, purchases, loading expenses, carriage inward expenses, which is related to calculation of cost of sales. Okay. Then you arrive at the cost of sales. And then uh, from the sales figure, you will be deducting the cost of sales figure and you arrive at gross profit. So you carry down the gross profit. Okay, there you balance the statement 4,55,000 and 4,55,000. Now then you start with the gross profit itself, which is 2,94,000, and to that you will add interest income and discounts received on the credit side. Okay, 4,000 and 7,000. And on the other side, you prepare the or you include the expenses, which are distribution expenses, administration expenses, financial expenses, which is similar to the previous one. And then finally, you arrive at the net profit. Okay, there also you balance it as 3,05,000 and 3,05,000. So this is for your extra reference. So operational results, you can report it in the format of a statement, which is being done now. Okay, we have already discussed the statement. We have done practice questions. Okay, so this is the statement format. Okay, this is the statement format. And then we have another format, which is the presentation using a format of an account. Okay, presentation in the format of account where you can see it here. Okay, and there you have balanced the account in two stages: gross profit calculation and the final net profit calculation. But this is not being used currently. Okay, currently we are using the statement format, but this is being given for your extra reference. Okay, so with that, we will be finishing off the profit and loss statement section. Okay, so we have studied it for quite a few days. Okay. we did questions from that, and we have another question to be done, which is the activity 4. Okay. So you can take couple of minutes and you can write this activity and start doing this activity.